Hello, Randy Edwards here with our third stripe curriculum. This is our break falling. What you just saw was a forward break fall. Sometimes we call this fish flopping by the way we kind of come down on the mat like this. So this is the second half of the third stripe material again. So here's your break falling requirements. First, we're going to do what we call fish flopping. Fish flopping is essentially where you just come up and land on the mat in the ending position of how we are supposed to do the break fall. All right, if you'll notice, I'm laying on my right side. My right hand is down fairly close to my right knee. The right leg is just slightly bent, and the left leg is back here away from the right leg. We don't want to come around and let our feet slam together or cross the legs over like that. Very dangerous. We can get hurt that way. We obviously don't want to fall on our own arm. That's very dangerous also. Falling, we don't want to stick anything out to stop ourselves from falling. So hands hit the mat or hit the ground, elbows, head can hit the ground, lots of bad stuff can happen. So in this break fall, we land in this position. So essentially we're just getting the timing of the legs and the arms coming down together. And then we're going to practice coming up and down, up and down. But now you see why we may call this fish flopping. But then what we want to be able to do is do the other side. A lot of times when we go to the other side, the legs will want to cross. All right, so now I'm on my left side, my left leg slightly bent, left hand down by my left knee, right hand is covering my chest, and this is the ending position. So again, it's just working the timing of the hands and the legs, everything coming down together, and then a little bit more flopping as we come up and down. And then the true fish flop will come in where we start to change sides every time. All right, so we come up, down, up, and down, up, and down. So we're changing sides every time. A little bit more of a fish flop there. Now, the next level to this is the forward roll into the break fall. Or as I'll say in the kids' class, the forward roll into the fish flop. What I'm doing is I'm going from my left shoulder to my right hip. So I just put my left shoulder down on the ground, keeping my head out of the way, and then I just roll over and land in this fish flop position. A little bit more difficult than it seems. A lot of times when we lay a shoulder down, instead of going straight forward towards the camera, students will want to roll sideways like that. But the idea is, as I lay my left shoulder down, I'm coming straight toward you. Left shoulder to the right hip, straight over. So we want to be able to do the forward roll into the fish flop, the rolling fish flop. We want to be able to do that on both sides. And again, we're probably like kicking, we're going to have a good side and a side that needs a little bit more practice than the good side. All right, the next will be the side fall. The side fall is a little bit more of a roll than it is what you just saw. In other words, I'm not going to come down on the ground, I'm going to stick. When I do the side fall, I'm essentially just going to get my arm out of the way, and I'm going to roll to the ground and roll back up, hopefully without using the hands. If you're getting back up in a self-defense situation, you have to put your hands down in order to stand up. This is not a very good defensive position from here. Worst case scenario, you got worst case scenario. Next best case scenario, you've got one hand up. Best case scenario, both hands are up. So as we do the roll to the side, we come back up with the hands like this. Now, if we're falling pretty hard, we do want to add the timing of this slap, like what you saw in the fish flop. So as I fall to my right side, when my side hits the ground, I time my hand slapping the ground also, and then back up. So we want to do the side fall, down, rolling to the side, slap, and right back up on both sides, both right and left with the side fall. All right? Now, the next fall is going to be the sit fall, and this is basically where we can come from our squat stretch position, or we can come from one knee on the ground and one knee up. We want to make sure if we practice this one though, notice how my left knee is pointed straight towards you at the camera, and I take my right foot and I turn it 90 degrees. I want it turned that way as my body is facing this direction. So as I sit back, I don't endanger this knee. If I come back like that, that's really hard on the knee. So this right foot is pointed this way, left foot is forward, and I'm going to sit back, both hands slap, and then I'll roll back up without using the hands. So the sit fall looks like this. The hands come down in time as the back hits, and I'll roll right back up into standing, or on the knees again. Then we want to be able to do the other side also. So now my right knee is up, my left foot is pointed out, and I do the backward sit fall. And then from there, I'm up on my right side. Down, coming back up on the left side. But notice again, I'm not putting my hands down in order to stand back up. All right. Now, looking at my requirements over here on the board, the last one, and this will probably be more reserved for the green belts and above. We'll see how the white and yellow belts do this one. But we want to do the forward roll. Essentially, the forward roll is where we roll into standing. All right. That one, if we do that one a lot before we do that fish flop, the fish flop becomes very difficult. Everyone wants to roll all the way back up into standing again. So we've got to learn how to break that momentum first. Sorry, white and yellow belts. We're going to do that one. And when we get really proficient at that one, then we can go into that forward roll. All right. Good luck with your break falling requirements on this testing cycle. Train hard.